If you just started learning Python or you're planning to learn on Python, one of the first questions you might want to ask yourself is, well, what can you actually do with Python? And in this video, I will try to answer that to the best of my capabilities. Python is actually one of the simplest languages to start with coding if you're just getting started, yet it's also used in one of the most challenging problems in the world today. Python is currently used in artificial intelligence, robotics, quantum computing, cybersecurity, as well as web development, web scraping, automation, and testing. Let's start with the first one, which is artificial intelligence and machine learning. I will make way more videos on machine learning and artificial intelligence, so if you don't want to miss out on them, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Artificial intelligence is essentially creating intelligent behavior in machines compared to natural intelligence, which is found in humans or animals. One of the most successful ways currently to achieve artificial intelligence is actually machine learning, and more specifically, deep learning. Machine learning actually is a fundamental different way to program computers. So rather than telling exactly what to do in every case by giving a program, what you do in machine learning is actually you create a model and train that model with the right data and with the right incentives. So the model learns to program itself and approximates the results you want by training. So rather than explicitly programming something, in this case, you create a program that can learn to do different functions without being explicitly programmed. Currently, two of the most popular machine learning libraries are PyTorch and TensorFlow, and we will talk a lot about them in this channel. Another place where Python is used is Robotics and IoT. IoT stands for Internet of Things. Using Raspberry Pi or NVIDIA Jetson Nano, you can develop robotic systems that can collect data from the environment, interact with the environment, and connect to the internet when necessary. Raspberry Pi is slightly more on the cheaper side, and it is mostly used in toy projects or hobby projects. And you can also do some artificial intelligence with Raspberry Pi, although that will be limited. With NVIDIA Jetson Nano, you can get started with robotics. Jetson actually comes with powerful artificial intelligence compute capabilities. And also, if you like your project that you do with NVIDIA Jetson, you can get the industrial version of that and actually turn that into a company or provide it to other people. And the hardware will have 5 to 10 year industrial use lifetime. And because you have high performance artificial intelligence compute capabilities, you can actually use your NVIDIA Jetson Nano in projects where you use powerful real-time computer vision tasks that are 30 frames per second or over, in which you can do pose estimation, object detection, segmentation, and more. So you can use it for security systems, self-driving or self-flying behavior in your robots, as well as many more capabilities. Another thing you can do with Python is actually quantum computing. Right now, using your laptop, you can actually access a quantum computer and you can design quantum circuits which will run on actual quantum computers or in simulations of quantum systems. To a lot of extent, you can actually do this for free. Quantum computers are actually a different kind of computers at a very fundamental level. So normally the computers you use at a very fundamental level, current computers work on bits. And these bits can have the value of 0 or 1. In quantum computers, however, because they leverage quantum physics, now we have qubits, which stands for quantum bits, which can be a 0, a 1, or any combination of them simultaneously. And these qubits can actually leverage different quantum phenomena, such as superposition, which is their basically capability of being 0 and 1 and any combination of them simultaneously. Another property they can leverage is quantum entanglement. I'm not going to go much into details of these, but basically quantum computers can leverage quantum physics and can have massive compute power. Currently, there are multiple companies that allow you to access their actual quantum computers as well as the simulations of those quantum systems, and you can program most of them with Python. These companies include AWS, Google, IBM, D-Wave Systems. D-Wave is actually one of the most famous quantum computing companies as well, and all of these companies that we talked about allow you to program a quantum computer from your laptop. And you can start programming quantum computers right now. Python is also used in Backend Web Development. Web development consists of two major parts, front-end and the back-end. Front-end is the part where you actually interact and what you see for the most part, and back-end is where your code actually runs in servers on the internet. And Python runs on those computers that are sitting somewhere on the internet, which are most likely some Linux-based computers, which Python runs at. Two of the most popular backend web development frameworks are Django and Flask. I will not go into details of those, but I'll make sure to put some links down below so you can check them out. Next one is web scraping. Web scraping is basically collecting data from internet in an automated manner. So in web scraping, the code you write goes to websites and pulls data from them for you. And once you get that data, you can store that data, perform some computation and analytics on them, or use it according to your business needs. One major thing to notice that website has guidelines and restrictions on what you should and shouldn't scrape from them. And this is really easy to find out. You can just go to the website you want to go. You can add /robots.txt and it will display what you have permission to, what you should or shouldn't scrape from them. For example, you can develop a web app or mobile application where people can search companies, and when they enter a company name, your software, your program can go into Twitter's website and pull all the data about that company, and basically you can do sentiment analysis on that company. So you might have some ideas on whether people are positive about that company or negative about that company, and this information and information like these can help companies or individuals about some investment decisions. One of the most popular libraries for web scraping is Beautiful Soup, and I will put a link to their website as well. Python is also used for automation and testing. When you make a software or develop an application, one of the things you want to do is to make sure that everything works as intended. So one thing you could do is hire hundreds of people or thousands of people and actually physically test that software in different devices, different browsers, to make sure everything displays correctly, gets the results correctly. But this will take a lot of time and effort, and it will be unreliable in a lot of cases. So another thing you can do is actually automate this process. For example, if you are making a web application and you want to test that, one of the most popular testing software is Selenium. And using Selenium, you can test your web application in different browsers to make sure everything displays correctly, all the buttons show up. You can check for different inputs to make sure that you get the right outputs, to check for unexpected or unintended user inputs, and basically do all of this programmatically rather than physically with Python. Another place where Python is used is cybersecurity and ethical hacking. Ethical hacking is where you intentionally try to hack into your system to check your software or company for vulnerabilities in your system. So these were some major areas where Python is used. I hope you got some value out of this video, and I will see you next time.